can cue it up. In fact, let's see if your crew can find it.
Cue it up, boys.
Well, let's cue up the clip of Biden saying 6 months ago, you can't put Abrams tanks in Ukraine. That'll lead to nuclear war up the threat escalation ladder. But then he did it.
Right.
And now they're training F-16 pilots. And now
what are they going to do with him? He seems to be in a state of cognitive decline.
I mean, I think that's emblematic. I mean, Fetterman, they love that. Fetterman can't even show up. He hasn't been seen in 5 weeks.
Yes.
And so now somebody else votes for him.
Right.
So I think that's the model. I think it's like a brain ajar. I think he'll probably run again. They'll steal the election. He'll win again. And maybe in 100 years, no one's even seen Biden. It's just like, well, the president's Biden. They'll have some, Chuck E. Cheese animatronic thing. No, I mean, ancient times, they called it a dog king. Or Caligula, or was it Caligula, or was it one of the Roman emperors married his horse?
Okay.
And people said, oh, that was just insane. No, it was insulting the Senate, and he made the horse the regent or the consulate or the president of the Senate.
Right.
So God, it's not Caligula. I'm about to think of it.
Nero?
No, it was Caligula.
Okay.
It wasn't Nero. Yeah. So look up what Roman emperor made his horse the head of the Senate. He also married the horse. And the point is that this has happened over and over again. It's an insult saying, you're so pathetic, you're so ridiculous, I'm going to make the horse that. So when you've got a Fetterman that can't talk and hasn't been seen in 5 weeks, when you got a Biden who falls down the stairs every time he walks, it's all a joke on us to demoralize us. We have to realize that's not our leader. That's a puppet. That's done to get us to accept new standards. In fact, I've told your crew here on the Tim Dillon Show, found the clip. Here's Biden 6-7 months ago saying we cannot send Abrams tanks to Ukraine.
The idea that we're going to send in offensive equipment and have planes and tanks and trains going in with American pilots and American crews, just understand, and don't kid yourself, no matter what you all say, that's called World War III.
So in the calculus, Tim Dillon, what changed in the last 6-7 months to now it's wonderful?
Yeah, I mean, I guess people sat him down, or he was already sitting down, and they said, listen, we're changing our posture. You know, we're going to ratchet up these tensions. We're going to arm the Ukraine. They can maybe win this thing, and we can bleed Russia out.
I'm going to change your camera shot. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
It's your crew's fault. Keep going. Keep going.
I agree with you. But I think that's what's happened. And propaganda works really well. We're very good at it as a country. So if people believe that it's morally right and correct to divert billions of dollars from the needs of U.S. citizens to Ukrainians, even though they are going through something horrible and tragic, if people believe that's a morally correct position, and they have certitude, and the people in power are telling them this is the right thing to do, we all know how powerful that is, because a lot of people want to do the right thing. They want to feel like they are supporting causes that are just. I'm sure the Ukraine cause is just in the sense that they don't want Russia in their country.
There's old beefs with the Russians.
But there's old beefs. There's so many beefs. There's so much shit going on.
But the point is just being used as a proxy war.
We don't really have a national security interest in that war. We have a financial interest in it.
See, that's the camera shot that's a little crooked. I'm obsessing over this. See, I want things to be right, too.
I agree with you.
Is that camera 7?
Is this January 6th? Who are these people?
Oh, I got it. Okay, I'm fine.
Gotcha.
It's all live. See how I'm directing your crew?
This is a live
I'm
thing.
being mean to your crew?
We're looking at the people here. Who are they? Do we trust them? Are they agent provocateurs? Are they sex operators from the CIA? We don't know.
But like, seriously, you have a lot of courage having me on because they don't want this heard. They don't want this discussed. I'm just here like everybody else trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
And the issue is every analyst, every Rand Corporation, Pentagon says the path we're on, it's like a car driving towards a cliff.
Yeah.
We were a mile away from the cliff. Now we're a quarter mile from the cliff. And if we keep driving, we're going to drive off the Grand Canyon.
And then the people in the media are writing articles going, the cliff is good. Don't fear the cliff. The cliff is actually good. So that's what I noticed about, 6 months ago.
Thelma and Louise.
Right. 6 months ago, there was a big change where people started saying like, no. We cannot abandon this cause. We need to do everything in our power to defeat Russia. The goal was originally peace. Now it's to defeat Russia. That's a different goal. Tactically, it's a different goal.
Exactly. And the Russians are like, oh, he killed 200,000 Russians. Yeah, they're doubling down. That's what Russians do.
Right.
So it's on their doorstep. It needs to stop. Even Henry Kissinger 3 months ago was like, this will cause nuclear war. We got to have a peace deal. Now he's like, remove Putin. You have the new Ukrainian defense minister a month ago say we're going to invade Russia and take over and put tanks in Moscow.
Right.
I mean, so I'm not pro-Russia. I've never been to Russia. It's insane, and I don't even know how to deal with this because you have all these leftists that used to be anti-war, and so was I. Now they love it. They love the prospects.
Well, yeah. Ever since the Russiagate thing with Trump, which turned out to be not true, there was this idea that Russia, we needed some type of conflict with Russia, and it was crazy. CDC head boss, testified at a congressional inquiry.
Yes.
And they said, this is what we call the Tim Dillon Show final episode on YouTube. So we hope you will enjoy it. This is the final episode here on YouTube before.
Because in America, you're not allowed to show a C-SPAN clip.
Yeah, it's wild to me.
You showed me these clips earlier before we went on air.
Yeah.
You've got you've got the former head of the CDC, Director Redfield, saying it was gain of function and they were lying and they covered it up and he's not part of it. He's literally turning state's evidence, and I don't think you should show this, Tim.
Blue Chew, the dick's got to work. It's the summer or the spring. I take it, not even for sex. I just like to wake up in the middle of the night and look at it and then go back to bed. Blue Chew, I mean, you know, it's great. We have a special deal for our listeners. We know what Blue Chew does. I don't have to explain this every week for 5 years. We know what the fuck Blue Chew does, and we're happy they sponsor the show. And if you have that issue and you enjoy the show, get Blue. I don't need to tell you what Blue Chew is. We know it's, you chew it, your dick gets hard. That's what Blue Chew is. Everyone knows what Blue Chew is. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code TD at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. BlueChew.com, promo code TD to receive your first month free. That's BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast, and they ship it to the door. Nobody knows what it is. It's discreet. Everybody loves it. You know what it is. Just get the fucking Blue Chew. You know what it is.
No.
Well,
no.
But what about the people that want to buy Athletic Greens? We need the views. We need the views, motherfucker. Blue Chew, dick pills. We need the views.
Hey, I sell dick.
We're whores for
By
views.
the way, I love the media saying Jones sells fake dick pills.
What's the worst?
I will assure you our dick pills work.
They work. And what's the worst thing that could happen? Michael Hastings or, hey, whatever. You got to do it. We got to do it. There's nothing more 2023 than dying for a view count. So please show this CDC clip.
Yeah, okay, we got a couple of these. Which one do you want? We've got
the damning one, the one that gets us killed.
Clip 7.
But first gets us viewers.
This is the head of the CDC.
Yes.
Testifying. And then we've got Matt Taibbi being attacked for Joe Rogan.
Let's do head of CDC first.
Yeah, let's do that. Here's the head of the CDC.
One other path of questioning for you, Dr. Redfield. Proponents of this research claim it may result in vaccines or maybe even stop a pandemic. Dr. Redfield, has gain of function created any life-saving vaccines or therapeutics to your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge.
Has gain of function stopped a pandemic, in your opinion?
No, on the contrary, I think it probably caused the greatest pandemic our world has seen.
Do you find any tangible benefits to gain of function research at this time?
I personally don't, but I do want to stress, I think the men and women that support it are people of good faith because they truly believe it's going to lead to a potential benefit. I disagree with that assessment.
Gain of function research is, let's make scary viruses even scarier. Let's get the government to give us more money and increase the endowments and the budget.
And he just said, gain of function caused the COVID pandemic.
Right.
He just said that. And he goes on.
And this, by the way, this is not a crank. This is not somebody we found on 6th Street in Austin, which is lovely this time of year. This is the ex-head of the Center for Disease Control.
Yeah, but I think fact checkers say we shouldn't air this.
Well.
And by the way, we got more clips because I know you showed them to me.
Yes.
We have a bunch of other clips where he went through how he knew it was gain of function, he knew it was a weapon, but they wouldn't let him say it and excluded him from the meetings.
So let's put those on too, because like if we're going to go out, let's go out in style.
Okay, well, let me look up which clips those were from your list.
The gain of function stuff is now coming out. I remember in the old days when you'd be kicked off social media for saying that stuff, but now it's starting to come out. And people are basically, I think, becoming more aware of the fact that this is not a naturally occurring virus. It was manipulated genetically in a lab. It was manipulated for a reason. And then it might have leaked. Someone might have leaked it. I don't know that anyone's gone that far yet. But I think it's becoming a widely established belief that this idea that it was a bat, that, somebody ate a bat in the soup.
No.
This is not real.
Hold on. It was a bat. Fauci's God. Let's play the evil C-SPAN clip of a man that needs to be arrested, the former head of the CDC. Right. Who does he think he is? He needs to shut up. Let's play clip 2. Dr. Robert Redfield testifies on 3 unusual events in the Wuhan lab in September 2019 before they released it. Listen to this bad person. Here it is.
I will say, if you go back and look, it's declassified now. And I'm sure you all have your classified briefings, but the declassified information now in September of 2019, 3 things happened in that lab. One is they deleted the sequences. It was highly irregular. So researchers don't usually like to do that. Second thing they did was they changed the command and control of the lab from the civilian control to the military control. Highly unusual, and I've been involved in dual-use labs when I was in the military. And the third things they did, which I think is really telling, is they let a contractor redo the ventilation system in that laboratory. So I think clearly there was strong evidence that there was a significant event that happened in that laboratory in September. It's now been declassified. You can read it. I'm sure there's more classified information around.
So a significant event.
No, this is disinformation. Yeah. I agree with you too.
Right, yeah.
No, seriously.
Take it down.
Yeah, this is evil.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's a worse clip. I mean, listen to this horrible person. Here is...
he's just doing it for clout. The ex-head of the CDC is just trying. He just wants clout.
Yeah, he's not turning against the whole system. I have the quotes here.
That's right.
Where he says
he wants to be a hype beast.
Listen to these quotes. Listen to this horrible person. Redfield explains his rationale, noting that several suspicious events occurred at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in the months preceding. So we just played that clip. But let's play a clip here. Let's play the clip here of clip 6. MTG talks to former CDC Director Robert Redfield, reveals COVID-19 virus was likely created by gain-of-function research, which he admits was going on, which Fauci says it wasn't, even though in the files he calls it gain-of-function, which is illegal, by the way. It's a death penalty.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Dr. Redfield, did you agree, in your opinion, with Dr. Anderson's assessment at the time that this virus did look engineered?
I was concerned because of the presence of the furin cleavage site that we've talked about. And I think it's important to understand what that cleavage site does. That cleavage site totally changes the orientation of the binding domain of COVID. So it now, which could not see the ACE2 receptor, which is the human receptor, it totally changes the orientation now. So it has high affinity for a human receptor. So that furin cleavage site bothered me. It didn't seem that it belonged there. And then when you look at the sequences that it used, and it's beyond the committee, but I know many of you have looked into it, the sequences that they used in those 12 nucleotides for arginine were the arginine sequences, nucleotide triplet, that coded for the human arginine. So why did this virus have the arginine sequences for human there, not bat? It was very disconcerting to me. It looked like this virus was engineered.
Was this what you're observing and speaking of? Is this something that would be in line with gain-of-function research?
This is the best I've ever seen her look and really present it. Usually she goes a little wild, but this she actually seems like on target. You know, she can get a little nuts, but this seems like she's got the glasses. She's like, okay, she's in the zone. Yeah, it's a problem. We cooked it up. Us in China. Was it a joint effort? Was it please let me know it's a little bit of us. It wasn't just China, right?
As much as I hate the communist Chinese, who are the most evil thing on earth.
Right.
It's a total setup. He talks about that in another clip.
Yeah.
There's articles in Nature and Science in 2015 when good scientists win, why is the federal government weaponizing coronavirus with a gain of function using HIV spike protein, which is the cleavage point? It's like the horn or the rhino horn. It's what plugs into the cells. And so he goes through all of that